Jack Johnson. Florida continues to follow the science instead of the CDC. Imagine that. Florida Surgeon General Dr. Joseph Ladapo has announced the state will formally recommend against COVID-19 vaccinations for healthy children. That decision is being called dangerous by some people currently trying to provoke World War III. But Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says the people of his state have lost faith in the official CDC guidelines. Watch.
You have this lack of trust in the medical establishment and in the CDC and the politicization of those institutions, an aversion to actual data if it conflicts with the narrative, and then really a failure to weigh costs and benefits, whether that's lockdowns, whether that's school closures, or whether that's even something about, whether a healthy 7-year-old kid should get the COVID vaccine.
So should the CDC have the final say over what kids get injected into their bodies, or are the people of Florida entitled to a second opinion? Karol, as our resident Floridian, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was in the room when they made that announcement, and it was pretty startling. I agree with it completely. I think that kids don't need this vaccine. And the thing is that it's not that they're saying we're not going to have the vaccine available for kids in Florida whose parents want them to take it. You can still get it. But as a health agency, they're no longer going to be recommending it for kids, putting them in line with, super right-wing states like Sweden and Denmark. And Florida has been ahead of this curve the whole time. When Florida opened beaches in 2000, that was crazy. When they opened schools in 2000, also in 2000, and then again in 2020 and 2021, that was crazy. And here they are again leading the pack. I think Ron DeSantis takes the data very seriously. I think he takes the science very seriously. And I think they made the right move here. I don't think health agencies should be recommending a vaccine that generally is unnecessary for kids. As I always say, I'm vaccinated. I got my mom and my in-laws vaccinated as soon as possible. I don't see any reason for kids to get vaccinated. Thankfully, this virus largely does not lead to poor COVID outcomes for them.
But Chris, she made a really good point. You can still get the vaccine for your kids. If you talk to your pediatrician and you're a concerned parent and you want your kids between 5 and 12 to be vaccinated, you can still get it. You're just not playing Simon Says with the state government.
I think people should be talking to their doctor and their pediatrician about what vaccines they should be taking. And I think politicians like Ron DeSantis should stay out of it. Just as I think he should stay out of the curriculum in his schools when he's talking about people's sexuality.
Yeah,
which
more
the state
school
of Florida
choice.
seems
Absolutely.
very keen
Keep government
on
out of
right.
schools.
So
Hallelujah, Chris. Preach it, girl.
I believe the state of Florida, needs to stay out of people's medical lives. He doesn't really have the resources of the CDC. So let's talk to people's doctors. No, he does not. He's politicized the whole thing, and he's the worst of it. And there were a lot more deaths in Florida than he reported.
Other health departments are... that's ridiculous. Don't believe conspiracy theories. But other health departments are recommending it. It's not like we're like, oh, health departments, stay out of it. We're not, right? So if they're recommending an unnecessary vaccine for kids, this health department is saying they don't need it. It's not like we're saying everybody stay out of it.
It's not a need it. No one's going to get arrested, Spike. Yet the night is young.
So should they not get vaccinated for smallpox?
Did I say Chris Hahn start talking again? Oh, I thought I said Spike.
Smallpox.
Forgive me. I know
this is just like smallpox.
Yeah, it's like smallpox. Okay, Spike, go ahead.
I am very, I'm upset because Chris Hahn took most of my talking points, which are largely related to we should not be listening to politicians. Chris made one of what I think is the strongest arguments for getting government entirely out of education, or at least our healthcare decisions related to education. And I really think it should be left up to the parents. Yes. We can look at data of the sheer just how for under 18s in America, there have been roughly 10 million COVID infections that have been recorded, not including those that were never known of or recorded, and just over 800 deaths. And with the death number to be that low, as tragic as those 800 deaths were, for it to be that low, it's likely that those were children who were already very seriously ill and either died and had COVID, or the COVID was what caused them to finally pass away. And anyone who thought that the herd immunity that would come from vaccination from COVID would lead to lower case rates. Omicron would like to have a talk with you. So I think that there's certainly an argument to be made that it's not necessary to vaccinate your kids, but I think more importantly, it should be left up to the parents either way, whether they want to, whether they don't want to. This is a health choice. It is a personal health choice, and should be made by the guardians and parents of those children.
Well said. Chris, do you want to say anything dumb in response?
No, I agree with them. I think the politicians should stay out of it at this point.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying
the
entire
everything he
time.
said.
About everything, Chris. Welcome
We've
to the
agreed on
buffet.
everything
Grab a
on this
plate.
show.
We're already quite full. Karol, do you have anything else to say? Because as a resident Floridian, you get the official last word.
Again, I'm fully on board with Chris's don't listen to politicians. I do like the blue anon. Florida's lying about their numbers, even though nobody else believes that. I really think that Democrats should get over it. I get why they hate Ron DeSantis so much, but he is drawing people to the state with his policies. Yeah, he is a threat, and I get it. And you should be afraid because he's pretty great, and he's coming for your man, Joe Biden.
He should be afraid. He's been governing way too far to the right. He's going to lose.
The little men in the white coats should be coming for Joe Biden. Karol, Chris, and Spike, it's been a great night, and it's only Tuesday. Thank you all.